Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Wednesday One Shot. I did it,
You did it. This is the
and
first
man,
one we've done together for a while, and you did it.
and you actually said it right when we talked about it earlier,
Hmm.
without making fun of me. So, you're welcome.
There you go.
I wish I could say, I don't know what I should. So yeah, hey everybody, welcome back to Wednesday One Shot. Curtis and I are back together to talk about something we've been talking about for quite a while.
Yeah,
What are
we
we
love
talking about
talking
today?
about what we're going to talk about.
That's like we're gonna have a meeting to plan the meeting about the meeting we're gonna have about the meeting.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah. What are we talking
So
about today, Curtis?
we are talking about Three Body Problem on
Ooh,
Netflix. Now, I know there's also a book or books. I don't know. I don't do the reading thing, but we're talking about the Netflix series.
yes. Apparently, there is also a Chinese TV series and the series of books. So, but
Okay.
yeah, we're talking about the Netflix version, which we both watched a couple months ago.
Hmm.
And I'd heard some people talking about it. I was like, "What is this?" Um, and then I think I watched it, and then you watched it, and we've been wanting to talk about it for a while. We just keep not scheduling it right. So we're talking about it now. We've got our little refresher back up on what happened, and I really for a show I had no idea what it was going into it, and
Hmm.
we'll try to post the spoiler thing before we say anything spoiler. We're just overall thoughts here at the beginning. Um, it I feel like I wasn't smart enough for the show when it started
Yep.
because it's all like science this and quantum and all these other words, things I've heard on like Big Bang Theory and other things, but like said much more intelligently and confidently.
Hmm.
I was like, yeah, I have no idea what's going on. Science seems to be having a bad day. Um, which I was like, oh, I can relate to that.
Hmm.
And then, by the end of the first episode, they kind of throw in a little bit of a little better of a hook to where not that they explain everything, but like, and it just, it the show has a lot of layers. Like the main thing is there, but like it's really interesting and complicated. It's almost like a watch. All these
Hmm.
tiny little gears ticking together to present an overall, you know, story that I thought was really good. And I think it was a great cast. I don't think anybody all the acting I think was just, it was on par with each other from, secondary characters, background characters up to the main cast was really good. I felt everybody felt believable, except for Isa Gonzalez not thinking she was pretty. Um, in one scene, she talked. Yeah, there's something about that, and I was just like, "How do you what?"
Yeah.
Like, I guess you don't have as much makeup as you normally have on in other movies, but like, in what world are you not pretty? Um, but yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. Great acting. I thought the pacing was good, and I'm gonna let you talk now.
Yeah, I mean, you had recommended this to me and even prefaced it by saying it's probably not the normal thing that I would like. And so just to be aware of it and to give it time, and which was a good heads up because you get into it and the first episode, like midway through, you're like, what am I watching? Like, what is going on? Like you're just confused. You have no idea what is happening. And like you said, towards the end of the first episode, you kind of get a little bit of hint, but you're still very lost. The second episode, you start feeling like you maybe know a little bit more what's going on. Then the third episode comes, you're like, oh, well, that's really this kind of thing. And it's like this whole mystery. It's like, I don't know, it's like a ball of yarn or something. And it's just, it kind of is getting unwound as it goes. And
Mhm.
you know, discovering more and more of what this mystery is. Like the pieces start fitting together and you start understanding, okay, so this person's doing this and this is why that's happening. And, oh, wow, okay, and so by the end of it, you're like, wow, this is really interesting. And I want to see where it goes from here. And you're ready for the next season. But it is a journey for sure. And it's one that I think it's good to kind of watch in a binging type fashion. I don't think if you did this and you watched like one episode a week for a while, I think you would come back to it and go, okay, where did we leave off?
Hmm.
What are the parts of the mystery that we solved, and what are we still waiting on, and that kind of thing. As far as like the sciencey parts, like that's not the parts that get me. It's always the flashbacky stuff.
Mm,
Kind of show that uses flashbacks, but it doesn't clearly say, okay, hey, this is this year. It's and this is in the 1960s. This is whatever. If it doesn't clearly tell you that, I have troubles with that because I get lost on, okay, what stuff is happening now and what stuff was happening then and what characters from then are now the characters that equal them now,
hmm.
because obviously they look different when they're older. So that's the part that were getting me, and still kind of get me confused. Um, but it does have an interesting story, and I know we're trying to stay as spoiler free as we can, which is very difficult with this show. But yeah, it's just an interesting watch with a lot going on, and it is very much kind of a you're watching this solving a mystery as you go. So
Hmm. I will say before we get into spoiler stuff, I will say it's definitely I don't think it's any secret to say it's a sci-fi mystery. Like it starts off and it feels kind of like I thought it was a sci-fi thing, and then I watched the first episode and I knew like the scientists were involved, but then
mhm.
it seemed like all right, it's like, oh, this is kind of like a seven, like these like grisly murders going on or
Just like
deaths.
a
And
sci-fi slash thriller
yeah,
slash
like
mystery. It's got a lot of things going on at once.
and it definitely leans like the sci-fi of it definitely picks up
Mhm.
quickly, but like the first episode I was just like, all right, maybe this isn't, maybe it's just got like a tint of sci-fi and it's really just this like investigation mystery thriller like you said. And but I think with that said, right here at almost 7.5 minutes, we're gonna throw up the spoiler thing. Where is it? Oh, did we do it at the same time?
I did not.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's up. It went up.
Really? I am
Yeah.
not seeing it. Is
Yeah,
it
it
still
went up.
there?
Oh, no,
Okay.
it's down now, but it came up.
Okay.
It said spoilers.
I'm gonna put it up again. There we go. Spoilers are
Spoiler.
happening now. Um,
So
and
if
we're
you're
not gonna
still
give
watching, just know
yes,
we're getting into the spoiler territory. You can't blame us if we then ruin something for you.
yes,
So,
and we're not gonna spoil everything.
mhm.
But I feel like to further talk about this, um, you know, we have to address the biggest thing, and that the aliens are involved.
Yes.
Um, and the way they do that, the way they bring that in with those like the little VR headsets
Mhm.
that have no functionality. It just looks like a piece of like molded like fiberglass that sits on their heads.
And
I
the
thought was
countdowns and
and the yeah,
the stars that light up and go off, like, blink like a light switch.
yeah,
There's some weird things going on, and you're like, "I don't know what," and then you basically find out that it's, kind of aliens and
yeah.
alien technology and that kinda thing. So,
So if I mean I guess people who know the premise of the books or the Chinese show would know that already. But if you're coming to this blind, it does now. I feel like it's a very different take on the alien story than
yes.
at least for stuff that I've seen. Usually, the ships are already here, and so it's this like higher advanced civilization that's making its way to Earth.
I would say the thing that's similar in a lot of alien flicks is that typically aliens are coming here because we have something that they want, right?
Hmm.
It's usually either some resources or land or whatever, just a working planet. Usually, it's something that we have that they want. That part is similar. The difference here is that they're not immediately here. It's not like their ships are showing up and we're fighting them, one on one.
Right.
The stuff that's going on is basically kind of like, we'll call it a messenger, of what things are to come,
Hmm.
and is communicating back with them on what things are going on with us currently. So
Hmm.
it's a prelude to them actually showing up. They're not here yet, but their technology is here.
Yeah. So you've got these scientists, you know, it's centered on this like group of like five, or the Oxford
Yeah.
scientists, you know, young doctors, and like so it's got a little bit of like their personal, like so it's got a little bit of the drama, you know, like
Mhm.
of like a 20, 30 something characters, like age range, 20, 30 somethings. Um, so you've got the drama of young adults, and then you've got the suspense murder mystery science
Mhm.
problems. There's the alien situation. There's like a
Well,
whole
and then
cult
yeah, that's what
situation.
I was just gonna talk about. There's like a little bit of a cult thing because these, basically these aliens are coming, and there's a group of people that know that they're coming and are seeing them almost as like gods. Like
Mhm.
it's almost like a religion based on it. And they are looking forward to them to come, not only come, but to, basically control us and change things because they feel like things are going down a bad path and we're not doing things the way that we should. We're humans are self-destructive. And so
Yeah.
they're looking forward to these aliens coming, making things better.
And I don't want to spoil one of the I definitely don't want to talk about, there's a scene with a boat. That's all I feel like I want to say.
Mhm.
I want people like that. It was just one of the kind of most, I didn't want to look away, but or I wanted to look away, but I couldn't kind of
Yeah.
situations, you know,
It's
and
it's
I'll leave it at that.
disturbing. We'll just say that. Yeah.
And it's just the way it's shot is so unnerving.
Mhm.
But it's done really well. Like it could have
Mhm.
been anyway. Um, there's that. There's a whole thing where one of the characters is like just talking to this little radio thing,
Mhm.
or speaker system, and just like there's some really unnerving, creepy things, like the way it's shot, the music, the angles, that I
Mhm.
think just really enhances like I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it again. Some of these things, and you were talking about the ball of yarn, and I'm like, that's it's so true. It's like that joke from with a meme from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where you got Charlie's like pointing at the wall and the red strings going
Yeah.
everywhere. It's like that, but the ball is doing it to itself, but it's like moving backward and forward in time. You
Mhm.
know, like you were saying, like different flashbacks and stuff, and then zigzagging here and up and down, and yeah, and it's really good. I thought it was really interesting. Um, and I know there's 3 books in the series, and I know the show has been renewed for a season 2 and a season 3. So, um, I'm excited to see where this story goes. And Liam Cunningham's in it. He plays like the head of this, what is it, the SIS or some sort of secret British secret service.
Mhm.
And like I usually like him. He's usually just like a charming, you know, very heartwarming guy, but like he's so cold-blooded in this show, but, like, I'm still
But
kinda
I
rooting
like
for
him.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but, like, yeah, he's got, like, a Nick Fury vibe,
Yeah.
kind of thing, but, you know, not as
But I
playful.
mean, he's got a mission to try to
Yes.
save us from this thing, and,
Yeah,
so, yeah, anything that needs to happen in, kind of one of those, what is it? Like, the ends justify the means? Like, whatever he has to
right,
do to make sure that, we come out on top, that's what's gonna be done.
and
So
I feel like the show does a good job of me not struggling with, like, "Oh, okay, I'm rooting for the good guys. Ooh, maybe they're not doing such a good thing here." Like, it
mhm,
really plays with, like, moral gray areas, which I find
yeah.
really interesting. You know, but yeah, I think that's about all we can say without really getting too many spoilers. It's good. I thought the pacing was pretty good. I agree with you. You know, it's better to watch in, you know, like a chunk or two,
Mhm.
but definitely not spread it out over a couple of
It's
weeks.
also one that I would say when season 2 comes out, you're gonna wanna rewatch season 1 leading into season 2 just to
Yes.
remember all the different plot points that have come up,
Yeah.
or
Or at
at
least
least a
watch
refresher. Yeah,
a good recap on YouTube or something.
yeah.
Maybe not the one we did. It was fun, but the guy for such a serious show, the guy doing it, he did a good job, but the
I don't
presentation was
think
a
it was a
little.
real guy, I think it was like an AI guy.
Oh, well,
That's the vibe I got, yeah.
okay. I was trying to just pay attention, uh, but like it was kind of like the person who's telling you like an inappropriate joke, and like just emphasizing the wrong part, even though like he shouldn't.
On the wrong syllable.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't bad. It just it was a more playful recap than I was expecting. Like, oh, we
But
just blew up the building. Oopsie.
yeah, but it is fun. Just know that if you're going into it, you need to be committed to watching, all 8 episodes, because you're going to feel lost at first, and that's normal. So just know that. But if you
And
stay in for the whole ride, I think you'll enjoy it.
yeah. And for the record, it probably should have put this at the beginning. It does deal with some heavy subject matter. Like I don't
Mhm.
like so like if you're dealing with like stress, anxiety, mental health issues, like just if you're not feeling it in the show, step away from it. Like not I'm not saying it's in I mean it wasn't triggering for me in any way, but like it deals with some heavy stuff. So just be aware. It's definitely not an all ages show. um
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a thinker. So
yeah. But yeah, all right, so that's our Wednesday winter trot. What I was trying to be funny, but I didn't know what was coming out there. For Three Body Problem on Netflix. Great cast, great directing, great show. Oh yeah, David Benoff and DB Weiss, who are the guys behind Game of Thrones, were the creators on this, along with obviously the original book and
interesting. Did
Alexander
not know
Woo.
that.
So yeah, so check out Three Body Problem on Netflix. If you've already done it, comment in the show here. Try not to spoil anything in the comments, just in case people commenting haven't seen it yet.
All
I
right.
think that's it. Yeah, we'll see you next Wednesday for another one shot.